Welcome everybody to practice. Today we'll be doing a flow to help practice with our split. So I look forward to joining you on the mat. If possible, it'd be nice to have some blocks available and a blanket. So I'll meet you on the mats. Starting out in a comfortable seated position, tucking the tailbone, drawing the belly button in, lengthening through the spine, bringing the top of the head to the ceiling, closing the eyes, simply releasing, relaxing any tension that may be in the brow, the forehead, releasing the corners of the eyes, relaxing the jaw, beginning to focus on the breath as you draw the belly button in towards the spine, exhaling, and then go ahead and inhale, fill that belly back up, just some fresh prana, filling that belly button slow, widen, expand, taking another sip in, and then exhaling, pulling the belly button towards the spine. Inhaling once again. And exhaling out through the nose. And begin to drop the belly, the chin towards the chest, roll the shoulders back. Keeping a nice straight spine. Go ahead and just roll that right ear over towards that right shoulder. And just pausing here, taking a deep breath, inhale. Exhale, see if you can relax that left shoulder a little bit more. If this feels alright to you, maybe you can extend that right hand and just place it on the top of the head, walking the fingertips down towards the ears and just gently pulling in the direction of the elbow, taking a few breaths here. And then exhaling, maybe even walking the left fingertips out, just creating a nice line of energy from the fingertips all the way to the top of the head. One more full breath. And then exhaling, just letting those hands just come back towards the knees, keeping the head where it is. And then just gently rolling the chin forward. Just coming through center and just rolling the left ear over to the left shoulder. Roll the left shoulder back. Close the eyes. And just take a few breaths into the space of the neck. You can crawl those left fingertips up and over on top of the head, pulling in the direction of the elbow, creating a little bit more strength, space. Maybe even walking those right fingertips out. Taking a full few breaths here. And slowly letting those hands come back towards the knees, just rolling the head, the chin, from side to side here. Just making a little half circle, pulling the chin across the collarbone. And if it feels right, you can maybe circle the head all the way around. Just bringing off a little bit back of the neck, maybe holding the mouth. Baby breaths. And if you haven't done so, maybe circling the neck nice and slowly all the way in the opposite direction. Big exhale. And then reaching back up towards the chest and gently bringing the head back to center. Beautiful. Go ahead and stretch out the legs and switch the cross in the opposite direction, placing the hands on the knees. We're going to begin by just making circles and just feeling free to move in any direction you like. I'm just starting slowly, really grounding the tailbone down and then just letting the spine move in rotations around. And then maybe deepening the breath, moving a little bit faster. Just beginning to warm up the body, warm up the spine. And then switching directions if you haven't already. Starting just slowly. Keep grounded through the base of the tailbone. That connection to the mat. And then just circle. You can let the entire body join in. And then maybe deepening the breath as you move a little bit faster. And last breath all the way around. Yes. And then coming back into a nice straight neutral spine. Beautiful. Fingertips touching either side of the mat. Inhale, left hand comes up and over, walking the fingertips out. Just getting a nice stretch through that side body, reaching through those fingertips. Maybe 2 more breaths. Rolling the shoulder back. Maybe getting a little bit deeper. Any suggestions? Beautiful. Inhaling, using that left side body, squeezing that oblique. Go ahead and lift the left arm back up and over. Lowering the fingertips down, lifting the right up and over. Maybe taking a breath to lengthen through the fingertips, and then exhaling, expelling those fingertips out and over, rotating the pitch up towards the sky. And then breathing as you just bend through the side body, big smile on your face. And one more full breath here. And grounding down through the tailbone, squeezing that oblique and lifting the body all the way up. Beautiful, straightening out the legs once again. And sweeping them behind you. Let's meet in a tabletop position. So widening the fingertips, all 10 fingertips pushing into the mat. Knees, hips distance, head in line with that tailbone. Squeezing the core towards the spine, and then just gently bending the back, lowering the belly button towards the mat, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the heart, maybe moving gently forward and back here, maybe side to side, and then just returning back into a neutral spine, taking a breath. And then exhaling, go ahead and lift, arch the upper back towards the ceiling, tucking the chin towards the chest, and then just stretching the spine in the opposite direction, bringing the belly button as close as you can towards the spine, squeezing the core, squeezing the glutes. And taking a few breaths, maybe moving forward and back, side to side, just exploring the spine here. And then leaning back into that tabletop position. And we're just going to be moving between these two poses at your own pace, with your own breath. And so just feeling the difference as you move between these two postures, inviting the breath to help guide the movement. Two more. Beautiful. And then leaning back into a neutral spine. Go ahead and extend that right arm out in front of you, left foot reaches behind you, turning that foot towards the mat, reaching in opposite directions of the feet and the toes, blocking the core, squeezing the glutes. Elbow is going to draw towards the knee. You're going to get a nice crunch in the center of the body as you lift up towards the ceiling. And then the exhale is the extension out, squeeze the glute and reaching. Keeping that going. Inhale. Exhale. All right, inviting power, inviting strength into the body. Two more, nice and strong here. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale, squeezing, holding it in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, extending out and hovering, and then gently lowering the hand, gently lowering the knee back down, widening the knees a little bit, hips distance, maybe towards the mat, and we're just going to make circles with our spine. So these are just gentle little circles as you move the body around and around. Once again, inviting different movements into the spine that maybe we don't usually do in a normal day-to-day basis. Staying present with the breath. Maybe allowing the circles to become a little bit faster. Those exhales to become a little bit more exhale-y. And then go ahead and switch directions, starting nice and slow. Keeping hold of that core as you circle the body around. And then maybe pushing into the hips, deepening the circles. Using those exhales to really expel any prana. Anything that's no longer needed, or maybe stagnant. One more, a little bit faster. Beautiful. And we'll meet back in that tabletop position, moving the knees back and move on to the opposite side as the left hand raises and the right foot reaches behind us. Turning the foot to face the mat, reaching with the fingertips, lock the core, nice and strong here, just in this base position. You've got a lot of balance going on. Inhale, go ahead and bring the elbow towards the knee as you squeeze and just slightly draw that spine up towards the ceiling, getting a nice crunch in those abdominals, and then reaching out. Keep that going. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale out. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, reach. Keep going, nice and powerful. At your own pace. Last one, and we're going to hold, bring it in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, extend. Nice and controlled, lower the hand, lower the knee back down. Go ahead and let's just turn that right hand over, and we'll just gently press into the wrist here. Shifting the weight slightly over to the left side and then slightly over to the right. And maybe just kind of moving forward and back here. Finding a nice space in that wrist that you can maybe just take a moment to just settle and breathe. And maybe taking one last kind of breath here. And then just slowly peeling that hand off, doing a couple circles in both directions. And then powerfully lowering the hand back down, pressing into all 10 knuckles and the palm. Switching slightly over, we'll come to the other side. You can turn that hand over and just press slightly into that wrist. Again, you can move forward or back, side to side. And then maybe play around with shifting the weight. And once you found that position, maybe just kind of closing the eyes and tuning back into that breath.
And let's go back there. And then we'll slowly turn that hand all the way over. We're going to start to warm up the hips. So shifting that left knee just slightly in towards the mat. So you kind of almost got like a tripod here. Squeezing the core and then just keeping the hips nice and square. You're just going to lift that right knee off of the mat, but just keep those hips nice and square. Grab hold of that glute, squeeze the core, and we're just going to fire hydrant as we open that knee out, squeezing the glutes, and then exhale, lowering down. You don't have to go too far here. It's all about just squeezing and engaging that glute. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Keep it going. Lift. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one, we're going to hold it up. Inhale, lift. And then see if you can just draw circles with that knee. You don't have to be very big circles, just really beginning to kind of just use that hip to lift and hold the leg as we make circles, right? A lot of work with that standing leg. Nice. And then maybe switching directions with those circles. Keep it going nice and steady. Gotta hold on to the rest of the body. Beautiful. 2 more. Last one. Lots of work here. Beautiful. And just go ahead and drop that knee down. Widen the knees and go ahead and shift yourself back into your child's pose. Walking those hands forward, lowering that forehead towards the mat, and just letting the whole entire body completely release and settle down into the mat for a few breaths here. And just checking in. You're noticing the difference between the 2 hips. And one last breath here. And we'll just come back into our tabletop position. So same thing on the other side. You may just walk the knees together. I like to kind of just bring that right knee just slightly in, just so I have more of a tripod here. Keeping those hips square, right? So we don't want to open them too far out, just a little lift of that knee. Okay, lock the core, squeeze the glutes. And when you're ready, you're going to do your fire hydrant. So inhale nice and slowly, lift that left knee out. And then exhale nice and controlled, lower it down. So not worrying about how far we lift, just worrying about how we're engaging that glute. And then exhale, releasing it back down. Beautiful. Total of 5. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Try to keep squeezing those glutes, squeezing that core, holding on to that stable body. Beautiful. And on that 5th one, we're going to keep that leg lifted, hold, engage, and then begin to circle, right? So just making little circles, big circles, whatever feels good to you with that knee. All right, nice and controlled here. Sometimes your body's kind of like shaking a little bit, so if you can kind of make it nice and smooth, matching your breath, switching directions if you haven't already. Beautiful, nice. Right, just a simple little movement, but a lot of work in those hips, in those glutes. Beautiful. That's one last big circle, nice and controlled. Woo! Beautiful. And line it with that knee. Drop it down. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and turn the fingertips towards us. There you go. Both hands here. And just take a moment here, stretching out the back of the wrists. I like to do a nice little cat-cow here. Feels nice. Or just simply feel that nice stretch in the wrists. And one more breath. And we'll slowly turn this hands around. And we'll go ahead and make our way into our first downward facing dog inverted V of class. So lifting the hips up towards the sky. And then just maybe pedaling the feet once or twice. And pedaling the hands once or twice, patting them. And just pressing into all 10 fingertips, all 10 knuckles, and the palm. Okay, it's going to help take that pressure off the wrist. Lengthen through the forearms. Wrapping the elbows up and around, lengthening through that armpit space. Shake up the head, yes and no. Ooh, yeah. And then squeezing the glutes. Go ahead and come up onto your tippy toes. Inhale. And then exhaling, rolling those heels all the way down. And we'll do that twice more. So inhale, lifting the heels up. And then exhaling, rolling down towards those heels. Last one, we're going to stay up on the tippy toes. Take a deep breath. And then exhale, go ahead, drop down towards the heels, pedal one knee down, and then the other. Ooh, beautiful. Nice. And we'll walk the feet towards the hands. Hands can come towards the feet. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, bring the arms by the side, a little slight bend in the knees, squeeze the core. Exhale, dropping all the way back down into your forward fold. Take a moment here. Shake out the head, shake out the shoulders. Maybe just kind of shifting forward and back on those toes. And just letting the whole face completely relaxed. Beautiful emotion that you feel right to here, down on each elbow. And then just a big open mouth exhale. Bending the knees, placing the chest onto the thighs. Inhale, halfway, come back up as you bring the hands by your side and shoulders back. Exhale, folding all the way back down towards the mat. Stepping into a plank position, push-up position. Locking the core, head is in line with those heels. Nice straight spine here. And then just powering up as we breathe. And then exhale. Beautiful. Squeeze that core. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. One last breath in. Exhale. Go ahead and drop the knees. Release the toes. Bend at the elbows. Straight spine as you lower that lower body all the way down towards the mat. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, press into the hands, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, and just gently cobra the spine up, curling that spine up towards the ceiling. Another inhale. Exhale, maybe push into the hands, maybe curl the spine a little bit more. And then slowly lower all the way back. Let's do that again. Inhale, rolling the shoulders gently. Big cobra as you roll the upper body up. Just being gentle here as you slowly lower all the way back down. Beautiful. This last time, maybe see if you can just elevate the fingertips off of the mat as you inhale, curl the upper body up, lift the heart, lift the chin, squeeze the core, squeeze the glute to protect the back. And then just gently rise those fingertips up. Inhale. And then exhaling, lowering down and just making a nice little pillow as you bring your head towards that left side. And just let the lower body completely release. Bend at the knees and maybe just circle the knees around a few moments. And lowering the legs all the way back down, turning the body to face the floor. Bring the hands by your side. Go ahead and push all the way back into a puppy pose. So you're going to keep those hips up and then just lower that upper body all the way down towards the mat. Beautiful. And just take a nice moment here, feeling that heart space. Nice stretch in those armpits. Squeeze the core. We're going to inhale. We're going to just kind of roll ourselves forward and we're going to come into a Sphinx pose. So you're going to take a deep breath in. On the exhale, you're just going to kind of roll your body through, lower that belly, and you walk the fingertips up, and then just roll, open the heart as the shoulders fold back and the heart lifts up. And just moving between these two poses at your own pace. And see if you can kind of keep your hands maybe glued towards the mat. Okay, get a nice little rotation of those shoulders. So just making sure you're just moving very slowly and at your own pace and rhythm. And you should get a nice back bend and heart lift. And maybe one more of these. And then we'll just end in a full child's pose. So just kind of walking the hands up and sitting back towards the heels, lowering that forehead down towards the mat, taking a breath. And then coming into that tabletop position, lifting that right arm up towards the ceiling, reaching through the fingertips, threading the needle as we lower that right shoulder down towards the mat, right ear, and then just use that left hand to rotate the body up towards the ceiling, doing a nice twist in the core, nice stretch in the shoulders. Beautiful. And feel free to add movement here. You can move forward and back, side to side, whatever just kind of feels right to you. If you want to add on, you can lift that left hand up towards the ceiling, bending at the elbow, placing that on your lower back. Big rotation of that left shoulder blade, squeezing the cord. And if you want to play around, add a little bit more. You can tuck that left toe and extend that leg and just kind of roll your body around, gazing up towards the ceiling. Feels like you're going to fall over. You won't. Beautiful. Big smile on your face. Big twist here. Squeeze the core. And then we're going to slowly move out of it how we came in, bending that knee, lowering it back down, releasing the toe. Left hand is coming up towards the ceiling, placing that hand back down onto the mat, stretching and pulling that right shoulder, and then just gently lifting that right arm back up towards the sky, lowering that hand all the way back down. Other side as we lift that left hand up. And exhaling, threading the needle, lowering the hand, shoulder, ear, all the way down towards the mat, using that left hand as a kickstand and just twisting and rotating the upper body towards the ceiling. Beautiful. You can add a little twist as you squeeze the core, kind of help there. You may feel free to move forward and back. If you want to add on, you can lift that right hand up towards the ceiling, place it on that lower back, the rotation of the shoulder. And if you want to add on even more, you can tuck that right toe and extend that leg. And just so you can add a little bit more twist. Those are all options, of course. Just taking class at your own pace and your own lift. One last full breath here. And how we came on into it, let's come out. So just slowly bend that knee, release the toe. Reaching that right arm back up towards the sky, placing the hand on the mat and gently lifting the left hand back up towards the sky. Beautiful. Lowering that hand down, coming back into that tabletop position, tucking the toes and lifting the hips all the way up towards the sky. Go ahead and bring that left foot into center. Right foot reaches up towards the sky, circling the ankle. Gaze comes towards the center of the hands, directly kind of in between those elbow space. Beautiful. Now let's go ahead and bend the knee here, and we're just going to make circles just like we did in our tabletop position to kind of grease up those hips here. Beautiful. Hold on to that core. And let's do that 4 and then switching directions. Okay, it's going to start to keep the body up as we move the upper way. Beautiful. Keep the breath. On that big circle all the way around. Beautiful. Go ahead and step that foot all the way forward between the hands. Go ahead and lower the knee down. Release the toe. Here's where, if you want to use your blanket, you can place it under that knee. Beautiful. Go ahead and lift that right arm up towards the sky. Getting a nice twist here. Take a deep breath here. Exhale. Inhale. Sweeping that arm all the way up. Coming into a nice lunge here. Inhale, straightening up the arms, straightening the spine. Inhale, shifting the knee back. We're going to extend that left leg, tuck that left toe, and just bend that head towards the knee. And just moving back and forth between these two poses. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. You can use your blocks to help you here, if that feels right too. Just really using that breath to move between these two poses. Maybe holding for a little bit longer. Keep going. Pay attention to knee, toes up to the ceiling. Maybe 2 more breaths here. Bring the body forward, using the blocks if you have them. And then just stepping that left hand or that right hand inside the right foot, crawling that right foot off to the side, releasing that back toe. Go ahead and shift forward into lizard pose, lengthening the upper body. So this may be enough for you, and if you want to stay here, just take a moment and you can just kind of breathe. Feel free to move. If you want to take the pose a little bit deeper, you can use your blocks and come onto your forearms. Or maybe just have no block and come onto the forearms, just completely on your mat. Just taking a few moments here, just inviting that breath. Straighten up the spine, straighten up the arms, and then just slowly bringing that right foot back to center, bringing that left hand over, tucking that left toe, and we'll step back into our plank pose. Taking a deep breath here, inhaling, exhaling, see if you can lower down, coming through a chaturanga. Inhale, sweeping the upper body. Being careful of that blanket there. Exhale, folding all the way back into our downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a moment here, reset the spine, pedal the feet, shake out the hips. Inhaling, extend that same right foot up towards the sky. Stepping that foot between the hands. This time, keeping off of that knee. Inhaling, let's go ahead and rise up into our crescent lunge. Shifting the weight back into that left foot. Always keeping those hips nice and squared. Beautiful. Taking a few breaths here. Exhale, maybe bending a little bit deeper. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and bring those hands behind us. bend at the knee. We're gonna shift our weight into a warrior three. Coming into a T shape with the body, keeping those hips nice and square. Take another deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale, dropping those hands down and extending that left leg up towards the sky for standing split. Taking another deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale, lower that left foot down to meet the right. Bending the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up, taking a full big breath here. Exhale, hands to heart center. Releasing those hands by your side. Picking up the toes, lowering them down, picking up the heels, lowering them down. Tucking the tailbone, releasing it, drawing the belly button tight. Rolling the shoulders back, releasing the hands by your side. With the heart, take a few breaths. Inhaling, arms come up. And then an exhale, dive forward with the heart. Hands come by your side. Forward fold all the way down. Shake up the head, shake up the shoulders, bend the knees, straighten them. Go ahead and inhale, step back into a plank position. Nice strong core here. Take a deep breath, inhale. Exhale, go ahead and push back into your downward facing dog. Take a few moments here. Big open mouth, exhale. Beautiful, stepping that right foot in towards the center, left leg lifts up towards the sky. Circle the ankles, circle both directions here. Nice and controlled. You're gonna bend that knee. We're gonna make circles, okay? So keep that rest of the body nice and strong, core nice and strong, as you just begin to make little circles with that knee all the way around. Beautiful, beginning to feel the body heat up. Maybe you're doing about 4 of those before you switch in the opposite direction, staying strong with the rest of the body. Beautiful, keep that going, switching. Woo, keeping it going all the way around. 2 more times. Last one. Oh, all the way around, beautiful. Bend the knee, go ahead and step that foot all the way forward, dropping that right knee down. Coming into a lunge, making sure those blocks are nice and handy. Straightening up the body, release that back toe. Take a moment here, just in your Anjaneyasana. And then we're just going to be moving dynamically between these two poses. Kind of a half split as the toes come up towards the ceiling and you curl the nose towards the knee. You can use these blocks as almost like little stilts to help you move. And then what you're doing is just kind of walking yourself forward and just getting a little bit deeper into that lunge. You can maybe even crawl that left foot forward so that heel is in line with that knee as you push into that hip space, taking a few breaths. And then just kind of straightening it out. And just moving between these two poses at your own pace. Using that breath to guide the movement. And then last one. And come all the way down. And when you're ready, come forward, back into that lunge, maybe just moving the blocks up towards the side. Go ahead and just once again push into the hips. And then we'll just step that left hand to the inside of that left foot, walk that left foot off towards the side, and coming into our lizard pose. So maybe you find that right here is enough for you. Just taking a moment, you can move forward and back, side to side. Just allowing the body to receive the breath. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can come onto your forearms, maybe onto a block or straight down onto the mat. One last breath there, inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and straighten up those arms, moving that block off to the side. Go ahead and bring that left hand up and over, shifting back into that lunge. And go ahead and lift that left arm up towards the sky, getting a nice twist there. Lowering that hand all the way back down, tucking that back knee, straightening it up. Go ahead and extend that leg all the way back up towards the sky. Give it a good shake. Lowering it back down to our downward facing dog, moving through a vinyasa. If that feels right to you, meeting back in that down dog, or just skipping vinyasa. Stepping that left foot forward between the hands. And then the right comes to meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Take a deep breath. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stepping back into a plank position. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, sweep the body up. Exhale, fold. Stepping that right foot forward. Left foot is going to come into a tippy toe, and we're going to make our way into a crescent lunge on the left side. Lifting the upper body up, settling down, making sure that knee is in line with that heel, squaring the hips. Taking a few breaths here, maybe moving a little bit deeper. And then bending the knee, we're going to shift into a warrior three as we kind of shift up, find the balance, and then we can move our body into that T shape, keeping those hips nice and squared. Beautiful, nice strong core, reaching in opposite directions, taking maybe 2 more breaths here. Beautiful, and dropping down towards the floor, lifting that left leg up towards the ceiling, standing split. Take a deep breath, inhale, see if you can square those hips a little bit more. And then slowly dropping that left leg down to meet the right, bending the knees, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bending the knees once again, placing the chest onto the thigh, grounding through the feet, swing the arms up, coming into our chair pose. Squeezing the core here, building up those feet and those hips, taking a deep breath in and out. Exhale. Beautiful, one last breath. Exhale, fold it all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up, sweep the arms all the way up. Deep breath. Exhale, hands to heart. Release those hands by your side. Inhale, shifting the weight onto that left side. Go ahead and bring that knee up towards the chest. So really grounding down through that left side. You can grab hold of the knee, just keeping that spine nice and straight. Maybe if you want to release the hands,
You can lift those arms up above the head. And then we're going to kick back into that warrior three. So just kind of kick yourself back into that T shape, keeping your hips nice and squared. Squeeze the glute, lengthen fingertips to toes. One more breath here, inhale. And exhale, see if you can find your crescent lunge, touching that toe down, lifting the upper body. Beautiful. So you're sweeping the arms down, framing the foot. Go ahead and lift that right arm up towards the sky. Nice. Maybe bringing that left hand behind you, reaching for that lower back, roll that left shoulder. Taking a nice deep breath, inhale. Go ahead and step that left foot back into a side plank. Lifting the body up if you want to add any variations. Keeping your obliques nice and strong. No, one more breath here. Exhale, lower the hand down, back into your plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, sweep it forward, open the heart. Exhale, tuck the toes, moving back. Downward facing dog. Gazing towards the hands. Bend the knees, hop, jump, step, feet towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up, big breath. Exhale, hands to heart. Release those hands by your side. Take a moment here. Shifting the weight slightly onto the right. Bring that left knee up. Again, you can hold on to it if you want. You can extend the leg. Sweeping the hips. Nice and neutral, nice and squared. Arms can come up. And kick back into that warrior three. So squeeze the core, kick it back. Coming into that T shape of the body, locking the core, squeezing the glutes, finding that nice balance here. Beautiful, steady the gaze. Keep reaching, fingertips to toes. Square the hips a little bit more. And one last breath. Exhale, find that crescent lunge, landing nice and smoothly. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale, sweep the arms down. Go ahead and lift that right arm up towards the sky. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, go ahead and step into that side plank, opening up the body. Nice and strong here. Reaching through the fingertips. One more breath here. If you did any variation, inhale, exhale, come back into your plank pose. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold it back. Walk the feet towards the hands. Hands can come towards the feet, lifting up those heels. Go ahead and bend the knees, lowering the glutes all the way down and coming all the way down towards the ground. Extending those legs nice and long in front of you, reaching the arms up above the head. Take a deep breath, inhale. Exhale, folding all the way forward. Inhale, extending nice and long. Exhale, fold. Doing that twice more. Inhale, lengthening, coming up a little bit higher. And then exhaling, lowering the body a little bit closer towards the ground. One last time, inhaling, lifting up. And then exhaling, just completely surrender here for a few breaths. And taking a nice deep breath, go ahead and curl the upper body up. We're going to bend that right knee and go ahead and open out that knee towards the side. Scooting that right foot into the left thigh, keeping those hips squared over that leg. Inhale, extend through the fingertips. Exhale, fold on down and curling those towards the knee.
relaxing that right hip. One last breath here. Slowly walking those hands back up. We're going to bring that knee back to center. So you can even grab that leg and bring it behind you. And we're going to take that fold once again. So you inhale, and then exhale, go ahead and fold yourself over. You may not be able to get as low as you did when you had the knee straight, so just take notion of that. Of course, if this is uncomfortable, make sure to back out of it. You're going to go at your own level and pace. One last full breath here. Go ahead and walk those hands up, bringing that knee to come around. And we're just going to grab hold of that back leg, or your ankle, or your heel, whatever feels good. And you're going to see if you can straighten that leg. And you may need to lean back slightly to engage that core. So take a moment here. You can maybe see if you can grab hold of it, that hand with that left foot, or that left hand with that right foot, and then bring that right hand behind you. See if that feels good. Look in the direction of those fingertips. Maybe shift forward, shift back. And then do the same thing other side, so just left hand comes behind you. And then we're going to bend that knee. You're going to bring that foot into the crook of that arm, and then the knee is going to come into the crook of the other arm, and you're just going to play happy baby with that leg, and just kind of rock side to side, forward and back, and just see if you can kind of coax that hip. And just kind of comfortable position. And just releasing those hands. See if you can just kind of bring that right foot back and bring both knees kind of on top of each other. Beautiful. And just take a moment here. This feels good for you, or you can maybe walk. Make it forward. All stretches to just warm up that hip today. And maybe falling a little bit more. Nice breath. And walking hands up. And let's just take a twist here. Just keep your legs where they are and just kind of use that left hand to just twist and rotate the body around, face over that right shoulder. If this is too much, you can back off that leg. And then we'll just let those legs come out. Take a moment, reset the hips, and we'll bring that left foot into that right thigh, hips nice and squared, inhaling, exhale, fold over, curving the nose towards the knee, shifting forward and back. Just taking a few moments here in Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose, just enjoying the closeness of the heart towards ground. Beautiful. And take one more breath here. And straightening out the spine. Go ahead and just flip that knee around. So just kind of turn it. And bring it towards. Keeping the hips nice and squared. Inhaling, arms come up. And exhaling, folding up and over those legs. Maybe noticing the difference. And right is behind. One last breath in. And exhale, go ahead and straighten it out. Grabbing the leg, putting the foot into the crook of the arm, crook knee into the crook of the opposite arm, and then just you can roll it to do a little rock side to side, little hover bear. And then just go ahead and see if you can kind of straighten out the leg, shift back slightly, bring the hands up to the foot, you can lower them down. So you got a nice grip, shift into that right side, and you're going to open up that left hand. Fingertips behind you, gaze fingertips. Just play around with seeing how straight the body can get. Added challenge would be to lift that leg. Beautiful, one last breath. Exhale, hands come to that ankle, and then we'll open up the opposite side, gaze towards the fingertips. Nice sitting up. And then slowly release, we'll bend the knee, place it over, and then we're just going to tuck that back leg. You may need to kind of adjust yourself here, but essentially it's a pretty deep stretch into those hips. So if it's too much, please back off a little bit. Maybe even straightening the leg, coming into a butterfly. And then from this position, knees in line, you're just going to fold slightly forward. So you may find that you can go really low or just a little bit is all that's needed today. Go ahead and just channel that breath slowly. The inhales down, and then allowing the exhales to really let you get a little bit deeper into those hips. Breath here. Exhale, stand up. And then from here, we're just going to kind of do a nice little transition. You're going to tuck the toes, and you're just going to spin yourself all the way around. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, full bend in the knees, sweeping your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Go ahead and turn yourself around. Use that. And then coming down through the feet, picking up the toes, lowering them down, picking up the heels, lowering them down, tucking the tailbone, lowering the shoulders back, inhaling, lifting the arms up. Exhale, and diving deep as you fold all the way back down towards the mat. Stepping that right knee, line the right foot back, and then dropping that right knee down. Again, if you need that mat or that blanket, please feel free. Making sure that your blocks are nice and close. Again, we're going to be moving into that dynamic back and forth. But this time we're going to have our blocks underneath. And so for what this is going to do, I'm going to actually start out with one, is as we move forward and back, and then again, if you need those stilts, those are available to you too. You can kind of start to kind of get the feel for that split. So as you move forward, what you can maybe do is just begin to kind of crawl that left foot forward. And then maybe shift back. And then maybe moving forward, maybe crawling the foot a little bit more. Okay. See if you can kind of adjust yourself and lower or down onto that block. Again, take it at your pace. Splits is something that is just definitely gained with flexibility. It's not a hard pose. Once our bodies know that it's safe for our muscles, we just get there by just opening up the hips and just practicing. And so then you may feel that you may get comfortable here. You can maybe even try to go ahead and remove the block, and then maybe gently lower the body down. Be sure that you're not moving to either side, and you're staying nice and grounded through that pelvis, gazing up towards the sky. And when you feel like you've had enough, you can just slowly, just how you came into it, and come out. So it's good kind of crawling that foot where it's kind of a little bit awkward, shifting back. And then maybe just kind of bringing both knees back together and just shifting back into that child's pose. Just taking a moment to receive. And then let's come into that tabletop, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up. Beautiful. Go ahead and step that right foot forward between the hands, letting that left foot stay behind you. Again, we're going to do that split Hanumanasana on the other side, releasing the knee down, coming into that lunge. So taking your time here, right? Maybe making sure if that block is available or your little stilts. And you're just going to be moving forward and back between these two poses, right? So it's just kind of like that little shift forward, little shift back. But then maybe as you shift forward, you can just kind of gently crawl that left foot forward. And shift back, right? Use that breath nice and slow. Exhale, crawling a little bit forward. Maybe see if you can straighten out that leg. Right. Your body's going to want to go to either side. So that's why those blocks are really nice to keep that body stable. Slow it down, find the breath. You want to stay here, or maybe if you want to find yourself going a little bit deeper, come in and try. When you feel like you've had enough, slowly walking that heel back. Woo, and then we'll make our way back into that child pose, making those blocks come off to the side. And coming into the child's pose. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips. Downward facing dog. Give it a good shake out. Lift that right leg up towards the sky. We're going to come into a pigeon pose. So bend that knee. Place that leg across the body, across the mat. Shift back into that left hip. Straighten up the upper body. And then slowly lower it down onto those forearms, allowing the body to completely surrender for a few moments. I'm just recognizing a lot of emotions flowing in these hip spaces. And just serving no attachment to any of those feelings. They may come to rise. And just keeping hold of what serves you and letting go of anything that is not needed. Maybe one last just big open mouth exhale. And gently shifting from side to side. Placing the hands down onto the mat. Tucking that back toe. Pressing into the hands. Lifting that leg back up to the sky. And give it a good shake. Last downward facing dog as you lower the toes down. Taking a moment, inhaling, exhaling, lifting that left leg up towards the sky, pointing the toes, and then we're going to bend the knee, placing that leg across the mat, walking that back toe back, lowering it down, lengthening through the arms, straightening up the spine, and then exhaling, coming back down onto the forearms and letting the body completely release for a few moments. You're making your way back onto those hands. And we're just going to kind of shift onto the outer left hip and then just bring that leg around. And we're going to slowly lower ourselves all the way down towards the mat. So just making sure that there's room behind you. Bringing the knees into the chest for Uttanasana. And just rolling the body from side to side. Straightening out that left leg. And down towards the mat, nice and controlled. Extending that right arm nice and long. Go ahead and draw that left leg and that left hand onto that right leg and bring it over towards the left hand side. So you're getting a nice twist. And just let your body fall to whatever feels safe and comfortable for you at this moment. Allowing the body to relax, softening the face, releasing any tension waiting in that brow. Squeezing the core, getting the last little final detox there. And slowly rolling all the way back, extending that right leg, bringing that left knee in towards the chest, grabbing hold of it with that right hand, pulling it over towards the right hand side as the left hand extends nice and long, and then just twist in opposite direction of the knees. See if you can soften the face, relaxing the forehead, creating space, eye sockets and eyeballs. Relaxing the jaw, moving from side to side. Moving the lips, facing the tongue, moving around. And you're squeezing the core. And then bringing the knees back into center, squeezing yourself one last Uttanasana as you draw the knees towards the nose. And then we'll slowly extend the legs out, coming into our final rest and making any adjustments to make yourself comfortable here. And we'll just hover that right foot off the mat, squeezing the toe, the ankle, the calf. Take a deep breath here, inhale. And then exhale, let that leg completely release. Squeezing that left leg off of the mat, hovering it. Taking a deep breath here as you squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then exhale, let it go. Squeezing the glutes. Hovering the glutes just an inch off the mat. Taking a deep breath, inhale. Exhale, let go. Squeezing the right hand into a fist. Hovering that right arm just above the mat. Taking a deep breath here, inhale. Exhale, let go. Squeezing the left hand into a fist. Hovering that left arm just above the mat. Taking a deep breath here, inhale. Exhale, let go. Squeezing the shoulders up towards the ears. Taking a deep breath, inhale. Exhale, release the shoulders down. Let the head just move from left to right. Squeezing the face, drawing the face towards the nose. Take a deep breath, inhale. And exhale completely, allow the face to soften. Allow yourself to move into your final state of rest.
the little fingers of the toes. Reach the arms above the head. Circle the wrists, circle the ankles. Feel the knees settling into the chest. And just rolling over towards your right side. Taking a moment just to get a big sigh here. And letting the upper body come back into a seat. And back into our nice comfortable seat. And just fingertips touch down towards the ground. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more just like that. Inhaling, reaching the arms up above the head. And then exhaling, hands to heart. Body, mind, and spirit. And Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for practicing with me today and working on your splits. Keep doing this class and eventually you'll start to see some progress. So feel free to tag me, like and share, and let me know how those splits are coming.